I'm Julie Miller with Metropolitan Title. Welcome to Real Estate Real Connections, connecting you to all things real estate. Today we're going to be talking about waterfront properties with Wilma McDougle from McKinnies Realty. Let's dive right in. Wilma, thank you so much for being here today. Can you start by telling us just a little bit about your background in real estate, kind of how you got started and what you specialize in?
Sure, yeah, I'd love to. Well, the story goes back a ways. I'm actually starting on my 5th year at McKinnies Realty. Love working there, love the people that I associated with and everything. But if we backtrack 20 plus years, my husband and I got into real estate, and it was actually my brother. So he's been a great mentor for me. And he started buying real estate and just said, you know, Wilma, you guys really should think about doing this. And so he kind of ran out of money for a while, and then he just said, this is a good deal on this house. So we went and looked at it, we decided to buy it, and then quickly we started accumulating some property. It kind of slowed down a little bit because my husband lost his job due to the recession and everything, but then we picked that right back up because we know that real estate is a great investment. We've been able to grow wealth and everything. And from that experience, because we have built a house, we have sold our own houses, we have rehabbed several of our rental properties, I had a great knowledge of real estate and the process, more so on the buying side than the selling side, but a little bit on that. So it just felt very comfortable for me to go into. And at first I was thinking, should I just get my real estate license so that I can allow myself to go into homes whenever I want, just to work around my own schedule? Because my schedule was busy. Had 3 boys, you know, the youngest was still in high school, participating in several sports, and didn't want to take away from his time either. And it was actually my financial advisor that said, I really think you'd be great at this. You should consider that. And once my youngest went off to college, I got my real estate license. That was COVID, but yeah, luckily I got delayed 3 times to take my test, and I passed the first time.
So you have quickly become known as the waterfront expert. I see your signs literally everywhere. And when I see a waterfront property, it usually has your name attached to it. So how did that happen?
Well, it's because I live on water.
And there you go.
No, I love water. It's my happy place. I mean, it really is. I mean, there's just something peaceful, tranquil. And unfortunately, when both my parents passed away, I was able to go out on the boat just to kind of chill, kind of process. And so it's a great relaxation tool. Even if you're just watching the water, there's just something very special about it. Brings you back to nature, you know, and just gives you just the calmness and things like that. So because I love water, and the Upper St. Joe River is where I live, it's very active. It's an active community where we have concerts. Music on the River is what it's called, and love that. We also have Float Down the River Day. We'll have ski shows and things like that. So especially during COVID, that was the time we could come together and enjoy the outside without fear of contracting COVID, and just enjoying that vitamin D and things like that. So I got to know a lot of my neighbors, and just talking real estate with them, just got to see what their goals and things are. And it's taken a while. We've lived there 9 years now. So over time, started to make a presence on the river, which I enjoy. Yeah.
So I would imagine that purchasing a home on the waterfront may be a little bit different than a home not on water, and it may present some maybe unique challenges. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of factors to think about when you're buying waterfront property. One of them is just the location of it. You know, not only the property itself, but what is the water like there? You know, is it mucky? Is it sandy? You know, is there a seawall? Because that's an expensive addition to preserving your property values, because the erosion and things like that. So there's things like that you need to think about. Taxes, of course, will vary if you're in the city or the county, on especially the river, or even lakes and things like that. Location, if it's up in Michigan or Indiana. So there's a lot to think about when it comes with those particular factors. The nice thing about it is, like irrigation, we pull it from the river, and also lakes and things like that can be done. So that's a neat thing.
Are there anything in particular that potential buyers should know or be aware of when looking for waterfront property?
More, it's the depth of the water. Is it going to be able to do what you want it to do? I mean, are you looking to fish? You know, what type of fish are in the area? You know, is it deep enough that you can have a boat lift out there if you're looking to do to have a pontoon boat or even wake boats? You know, certain areas of water are not as deep as other areas. So you need to know what the depth of the lake or the river are so that you can make sure that what you would like to do is what you're going to be able to do. Even kayaking, you know, things like that. So it's just a matter of the different bodies of water and what they offer. So just learning those things.
And does flood insurance play a part in this process?
Oh yeah.
Is it all the time, most of the time, some of the time?
Actually, it really depends on the property. It depends on the elevation of the property. There is a LOMA. So if flood insurance is required, but you feel like you're elevated enough from the water levels, or even maybe your neighbors or things like that have had their flood insurance waived by having a LOMA, which is basically, it's a certificate that's saying, you know, you've had a surveyor come out, he's checked the elevations of the property, and he's granted this LOMA saying that flood insurance is not needed whatsoever. Obviously, if you're high bank, your likelihood of needing flood insurance is very, very low, but it's usually the ones that are really closer to the water rather than ones that set back and things like that. So flood insurance sounds scary. It could be an additional $1,300 a year or something like that based on the value of the home. So it still could be worth your while having, because, you know, we never know what could happen.
Yeah.
So,
are there any additional inspections outside of like the normal home inspection that somebody living on Waterfront would want to consider having?
Definitely, I would check the seawall if there's already a seawall in place, because it is expensive repair or replacement to make sure that the seawall is sound. Basements, oftentimes because you're near water can be in the basement, making sure that the foundation is very secure. Those are the main things, really. Yeah.
Okay, any advice that you have for someone living on Waterfront wanting to maybe consider listing? What kinds of things should they look for in an agent like yourself? And what kind of marketing tools do you use to list those homes on the Waterfront?
I would say the main thing is that somebody that knows the area, you know, because I'll go back to the Upper St. Joe River. It's miles and miles of boating, which is one of the great things about it. So with that, you have different zip codes that are involved. You have different school districts that are involved. You have different communities, because different parts of the river could have a neighborhood feel. You know, other ones could be on a busy road, but yet it's on water. So it's just knowing what the value is, knowing where the desirable areas are, because of maybe high density of entertainment or what you're looking for. It could be the fishing is better, you know, further upstream. So it's just knowing what that home offers and marketing it the right way.
So good. Thank you so much for that information. If somebody wanted to reach out to you to talk to you about buying or selling, how could they find you?
Oh, easy. 574-612-3252. Best way to either call me, text me. Email address is McDougle, Wilma @gmail.com, and that's McDougle WILMA @gmail.com. So, yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today. This has been super informative.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed this time with you too. Yeah.
Thank you for watching Real Estate Real Connections. Remember, like, share, and subscribe for all things real estate. Until next time, stay informed, stay empowered, and stay connected.